Happy Friday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. How are you? Welcome to HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Look at us. We're all getting, look at the cup's already filling up. It refills whenever I reload the page. It's not that exciting, but it's nice. And, you know, we try to keep busy. Here's the people who've been helping a bunch. Here's the sub goal thing. There's my name in 2 different versions. And then there's the Venmo and the little phrase that says, where is it? Subscribe today. There it is. Let's see. Right out of the gate, I'm trying to be a professional. This is HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. I do this every weekday, Monday through Friday in the 3 o'clock hour. And then in the mornings on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do a morning show at 9 a.m. And then tomorrow, I have the HAL Sparks radio program Mega Worldwide, which has been on for over 10 years. And it's just my Saturday politics show that I do through CPT in Chicago. And it's a call-in radio show. And it's like the real thing. Meanwhile, I'm doing this thing where I take stuff that people have posted as representative of their ideas, their concepts, their belief systems. And instead of taking like an hour thing that they do and cutting a piece out of it myself and saying, see, this is what they really meant, and removing all context that I think might, go against my argument, or keeping out stuff that might support theirs. I just put up I deal with what they post, because this is stuff that they say or infer through their usage of it is exemplary of them at their best. Rare exception will be, of course, when Trump does a live rally, which he may do, I think, starting at tonight after this. It's okay. At 6 my time. I don't want to roll right in. I don't want to. Do I have to go away, have dinner, and come back? Oh God, he's in Vegas. Now I got to get in the car and go down there. Oh, no, not going to happen. Just because it's not that I don't feel safe, or I don't think any of these people would act out. I just don't feel like getting shoulder syphilis. Anyways, there's a few people out there that we do regular clips on, because they're kind of at the front. They're the front line of the right wing abnormal information machine. And by the way, hi everybody, should go as Ficus. That's a great idea. Photobomb him, yeah. I would photobomb him, but I don't have my Blacks for Trump shirt, and I don't think it would be appropriate to wear one even if I did. Thank you for the super sticker, Betty Loco, right out of the gate. Super chats, always welcome. Great way to support the show, as is Venmo. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, who may be new to the taint of the interwebs, this is a young man named Tim Pool. He is a would-be libertarian-esque proto-right gamer bruh kind of dude who's had he's had a very successful show for a long time. He's not up there with the Russell Brand situation, but then Russell's got a British accent. He's been in Saving Sarah Marshall or whatever, and he's got a head start on all of us. We know this. It's okay. He's got 1.3 million subscribers. There's nothing to sneeze at with my lovely little 37.5 that we got going on. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up and share us and all that stuff. All the stuff I'm supposed to say. Now, this is Tama. So behind young Timothy is 3 examples of the most frequently used penile substitutes in anti-male jokes. I'm certain there's a story about the unsheathed samurai sword, the muzzle-loading, the flintlock pistol, and the gray Telecaster. I guess it's his primer guitar. We'll just go with that. Maybe it gets played. There's definitely a wire behind it. Maybe it's for guests that play in case they want to, whip it out. Possibly. It's hard to say. But This one's we got a bunch to cover today, but this one jumped out at me because of sort of a layer of knowledge I have about this about Tim Fool. This is you know how we talk about the exaggerating, clickbaity, fear-based thumbnails that we see all the time, and then we see the promises made but not delivered. I found one of these particularly ironic. Now, the title of this video is entitled "Hunter Biden Caught Smoking Crack." I mean, look, the job numbers were good, but I think celebrating that way is just going a bit too far. The Biden family is a corrupt disaster. That is the title of this. Now, caught. Many people know that Hunter Biden had a drug addiction, as did Mike Lindell, if you'll remember, Mike Pillow, who we'll be seeing later in the program. Mike Pillow, right about the same time, by the way. It is entirely possible that Hunter Biden and Mike Pillow crossed paths, crossed the streams in their crack adventures, and I think that is the Bubba Hotep movie that we are all waiting for. I think Bruce Campbell playing Mike Pillow would be great, and I'll play Hunter Biden since Ozzie Davis has passed. And I think honestly that I mean, but maybe they have some information I don't. They're breaking stories all the time. You know, the January 6th committee was interviewing Patsy Baloney today. He's saying some stuff today under oath. You know, there's footage of Trump's lawyer his house getting raided by the FBI, and it was apparently the second time they had to do this because apparently he was hiding electronic devices the last time they went, and they have to go back and make sure because they know they've got phone numbers with him talking that are for phones that didn't show up when they served a warrant the first time, so they had to go back. And that's why they brought the electronic sniffing dogs, as you will. Hype train. Thanks, everybody on Twitch, for hype training us. I greatly appreciate it. You're wonderful. Okay, so, and I know what you're thinking. Hunter Biden story. I mean, come on. I know the job numbers just came out, and we added 375,000 jobs. I know the HIMARS are arriving in Ukraine, and the Ukrainians in 72 hours have destroyed over 20 ammo depots that the Russians are putting up. I know that gas prices have gone down the last 5 weeks in a row. Oil dipped below 100 last week for the first time in a while, and is tipping that direction. So, which of course means the story is Hunter Biden. Now, what I want to show you though is the title is, I mean, obviously, maybe he's got something. He's got some new stuff. Hunter Biden caught. He was caught smoking crack. Kids today, am I right? Here's Tim's page. This is what his he's got. I mean, his thumbnail game is spot on. He isolates certain words that you are supposed to know are important. Oddly enough, it's sort of inverse because, quite frankly, using a darker color than the white letters draws your eye the wrong direction. Unless it's if the problem is you make them on a big screen, it looks like a big deal. When you shrink them down, it looks like if you squint, you only see the white letters. It's a mistake anybody can make. When you make it repeatedly, that's your ass. But anyways, see, media begs GOP not to choose Carrie Lake for Arizona, makes her sound awesome. So begs and awesome are supposed to be the words you're supposed to pay attention to, and yet if you squint at all, they disappear. Arizona AG seeks invasion status over border crisis disaster. Like, I mean, it looks like most of it looks like Tucker Carlson's Pornhub search results. So the search bar. But Hunter Biden on Hunter Biden on camera smoking crack and drinking. Wait a minute. Get out. I mean, crack. Sure. You let that slide. But alcohol? Straight from the can? Prepare to be shocked, America. 3 hours ago, this video was put up. It's already got 43,000 views. It's a well-oiled machine over there at Timcast in real life. That's what IRL sounds like. Because in real life, everyone has a toy musket or a toy flintlock handgun, an unsheathed samurai sword, which is borderline sacrilegious. Get the fucking sheath, dude. It's embarrassing. And maybe that was why he keeps getting swatted, which no one should do. And the unused guitar. Okay, so, and I'm totally down with having a guitar contest. You know, straight up crossroads. Anyways, so this is Hunter Biden caught smoking crack. The Biden family is a corrupt disaster. So let's see. I mean, this has got to be new stuff, right?
Let's get a little bit more into the domestic issues. And
let's get more into the domestic issues. This is a domestic issue. This is coffee table or kitchen table or water cooler conversations. This is what the American voter is dealing with. All right, here we go.
And I want to say I'm sorry it's coming to this.
Yes, as are we. I mean, we wish you had something good to talk about that promotes your ideas of how things should work, but you're left badgering someone with a past addiction from footage leaked by the Russians that they stole from his phone, apparently. Isn't it funny how all of Hunter Biden's messages, his phone messages from his phone messages from his phone, his voicemails from his phone end up on the laptop, saved in a file full of audio files. And I'm kidding. It's a real laptop. You know how I could tell? Because they're passing around a hard drive that's too big to have been in a laptop, but it's got the name laptop.
People who are watching, you might not want your kids to hear this stuff.
People who are watching, you might not want your kids to hear this stuff. Why would kids be? Never mind. Watching, yes. Don't watch because your kids might hear something.
Stuff's dark stuff.
It's dark stuff.
But this is the president's son.
Oh my God, the president's son. Daily Mail. Okay, so let's go to it. The Daily Mail is leaking this. This is a big deal. Hold on. I can tell that some of you, naked Hunter Biden. Well, he is in a tub. It would be more distressing if he was fully clothed, like Ryan Gosling and the Nice Guys. Daily Mail, 2 days ago. Okay, here we go. This is the article. Putting this up. Block notifications. Wait until the thing comes up. Okay, here we go. This is it. Naked Hunter Biden filmed himself smoking crack, drinking hard seltzer, and fondling himself while floating inside a sensory deprivation tank. I see. So maybe he should have been wearing shorts. 1 month after convincing Dad Joe to wire him $20,000 for his detox program. Why would he need $20,000 for his detox program if the mayor of Moscow gave him $3 million? Why would he need $20,000 for detox if the big guy gets 10%? Is it a refund? Is it like a rehab tax that he charges his dad? Didn't they walk out of China with $1.5 billion? What does he need $20,000? Does this place only do it in cash? Okay, warning, graphic content. Hunter Biden is seen smoking, drinking, and touching himself in a float tank at Massachusetts Wellness Center in January of 2019. The president's son took video of himself retrieved from his abandoned laptop, which is, again, a lie. There is no Hunter Biden laptop. While he was meant to be undergoing detox treatment. Text messages seen by Daily... seen smoking, drinking, and touching himself in the floor. Okay, none of those things are covered in rehab unless he was trying to quit smoking. Smoking crack is one thing. Look, the video begins with a nude Hunter floating in the water, touching his genitals as music plays in the background. Okay. Text messages seen by Daily Mail confirm the 7-minute clip was recorded at Blue Water Wellness in Newburyport, Mass. in January of 2019. Let's see. The forgotten and ignored context for the emergence of the Hunter Biden laptop. Sorry, okay. New York Post reported on that it was a possession of emails between Ukrainian business and the new reporting real evasion. There was 4 questions arose in the news report. How did the information published from the get it? Was the information legitimate? Media skepticism, social media blackout. This article look at the overlap of the first and third questions. I'm trying to find John Paul McIsaac. Got it. Gave it to the okay. According to John Paul McIsaac. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's an inner.
Parker, by the way.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, my name's John Paul.
John Paul, okay.
My pleasure. I'm good to rescue him for 5 minutes there.
Jesus Christ, that's loud. Max Shop 1014. This is awesome. The FBI called him needing assistance accessing the hard drive within... hold on. What the fuck? Wait. This is a SoundCloud file. Hang on.
I think you rescued him for 5 minutes.
There you go, okay. So now you can go back to your solitude, sir. Nice meeting you, John. Cheers.
Hey, I get to go to solitude. See you guys later.
John Paul, so what everyone wants to know, and I think is like the definitive question, is who reached out to who first on Giuliani? I think that's the answer we need to have, or there'd be some clarity on this.
Call from a email service.
There's a whole...
Okay, I won't be able to sort through the files or the conversation long enough. My question is, I have an issue with the January 2019 Wellness Center visit compared to when he came in possession of the laptop allegedly in the first place, or the 3 laptops, 2 of which were all 3 of them which were waterlogged. The third one having some files, other files were added after the fact, but that they were he filmed himself, I guess, on his phone. And again, he's downloading these to his hard drive or whatever. So that's the question I have. Okay, he later proceeds to take several hits from what appears to be a crack pipe and stares wild-eyed in the camera as ambient music plays in the background. Just 1 month earlier, he texted his dad complaining he didn't have enough money for the treatment program on top of his bills and alimony. Joe later agreed to wire his son $75,000 to cover the cost, as well as an additional for $20,000 for treatment program in New York City. Again, I don't know. Okay, this is the footage is down here, and okay, they're blurring it out. Watch the full video. He's in a sensory deprivation tank. He's drinking hard seltzer. That's 2 minutes and 52 seconds of this. And then this business, he's smoking something. All right, there he's naked. He's got a lighter and a roll of toilet paper. He's drinking another hard seltzer. It's possible to make another short-term loan in some time, and I will send it back to you in no later than 10 days. I'm really embarrassed to ask, and I know it's unfair to me to put you in that position right now. Hunt, tell me what you need. No problem. The future president responded, okay, how do you want to do this? I can pay your tuition directly in their housing and give you the rest. Oh, okay. So here's the exchange between that's on the laptop, the alleged laptop, the non-existent laptop, files, because it comes from a hard drive named laptop. So I guess you got me. Here it is. He was urged to visit the spa by a therapist pal whom the first son had turned to help in his battle to kick drugs. So he's an addict and he's trying to kick. And God knows they never vacillate between healthy and sick. Okay. Just 1 month earlier, Hunter had texted his dad, Joe, complaining he didn't have enough money for the treatment program on top of his bills and alimony. Hey, Dad, I've been trying to resolve some immediate financial issues, alimony, tuition, and my bill for this program, but the cash I'm counting on will not arrive until the end of the week. Is it possible to make another short-term loan in the same amount, and I will send it back in no later than 10 days? I'm really embarrassed to ask, and I know it's unfair of me to put you in that position right now. Hunt, tell me what you need, no problem. The future president responded, okay, how do you want to do this? I can pay the tuition directly and their housing and give you the rest. And he said 75 being wired today, love. Let's see. If you had a chance, call. I'm clear for the next several hours. Dad, I'm not concerned about the paying back. Try calling tomorrow. Okay, I tried a while ago. I have a full day with the people in my I'm working with here. I'm just getting back from dinner with them, and I'm up if you still are. How much do you need now? Sorry, fell asleep. I'm at Chainbridge Road till 3:30, then catch a plane to New York City for environment event, and then home. 75 being wired today. Love. Again, how does this look bad for Biden, even if true, even if not edited, even if not cut down? Okay. Supportive Joe, happily obliged, replying, and then just called Mel. He will get 20 to your account this afternoon, morning at the latest. He will contact me when transfer goes through. Hunter's cell phone videos would later show, however, that he had gone to the wellness center in Massachusetts. Parents of kids and friends of addicts go through this. What's he supposed to do? Fuck you, kid. You're going to screw up my chances of being president, you dirtbag. Like, what response would be good for these people? All right, anyway, so this is it. At his therapist's behest, Hunter also underwent ketamine infusion therapy, a treatment for drug-resistant depression. Hunter also referenced his ketamine regimen in December 5th to a female friend. That's good, baby. What does it do? She replied, let's get freaky tonight on webcam. Oh, right. Yeah. Uh-oh. That's good. An adult person, by the way, Rudy Giuliani, learned something. In another text sent, Hunter made it abundantly clear he was funding his conventional treatments. By the way, my dad is paying for whatever I need. All right, again, so what? There's no suggestion the staff at Blue Water Wellness were involved in his drug abuse, or, by the way, that was drugs, anything other than smoking, but we'll see. Whatever. Like I said, he was an addict. But this is from 2019. And the title of this video, I might remind you, Tim Fool viewers, Hunter Biden caught smoking crack, former crack addict, on video during a time when he was spiraling and trying to get clean, vacillating back and forth between using and going into rehab and using and going into rehab. What if, here's the gross thing about this. And why they think this is a win. I'm curious to see if they even bother to go through the other stuff. And that's Carrie Lake, by the way, the woman running, the Trumpian running for Arizona governor. She's the main guest on the show. By the way, there is no way Tim Pool doesn't, and his friends, his regulars on here, don't know at least one person who tangentially had a friend trying to kick drugs who went in and out of this shit. This just gross anti-addict stuff.
The Daily Mail reports.
The Daily Mail reports. British tabloid shits on son of American president based on shit that happened years ago that he has kicked since.
Naked Hunter Biden filmed himself smoking crack, drinking hard seltzer.
By the way, crack is in quotes because they don't know actually what it was, but it could have been weed. It could have been that he was given pharmaceuticals and he tried smoking some of those. It could have been Parmesan cheese. We don't know. That's the kind of point. But they could put it in quotes. You know, crack is kind of a catch-all term. It really is. If you think about it.
And
again, what the fuck? The guy said he's an addict. What kind of like bullshit moral posturing is this?
And you can do it himself.
You can
just say that.
You can read it yourself at home.
Yeah, while floating inside a sensory deprivation tank.
What are these people allegedly adults? Is everyone in that room adult? Is that why he's? I don't know, because the kid reference. Does Tim have teens working on his show? Oops, excuse me.
1 month after convincing Dad Joe to wire him $20,000 for his
crack.
detox program. The first family, the son of the president.
And who's, by the way, the first family, the son of the president, who was a crack addict after the death of his brother from brain cancer and doesn't use now. How many families do you think that are out there that their child used heroin or crack at some point and then they have died since because of fentanyl poisoning or a straight up overdose or an opioid addiction killed them? Hunter's alive and healthy and not acting on his addiction. Fucking hell. Let's see. Thank you, Robert. Hi, I love you, brother. Still testing positive for COVID-19 a week after first positive test. Are you feeling okay? I hope so. Hopefully you were helped by the fact that you're vaxxed, my friend. Please relax and soak in the positive vibes. I'll keep it cheery. I will resist the urge to take this asshole seriously and his posturing, moralizing ass cracks that all seem to be like learning right now that people with a history of drug use have done awful shit in the depths of their drug use, and that those people deserve respect for getting out of it. For one, the struggle is genuine. Anyway, we'll see.
These videos are coming out because
the Russians want them to.
the laptop got released, and
The laptop got released. Was it? Well, I'm sorry. Was it under house arrest? Oh, you mean the hard drive named laptop, Tim? Show me a picture of the laptop, Tim. Post it. You got the ability. Look, I can't even lay this on like shitty Jimmy Dore technology. This fucker, we will at least give Tim points because unlike Jimmy Dore, whom he shares the same opinion of the same people with, at least Tim or someone, I think it's this dude, can put the screen up and still keep the people on without covering their face with the shit with a crap button.
the stuff we're learning about this family is dark.
Oh, you mean the fact that his eldest son survived addiction? Dark. Let's hear the dark shit, Tim. Give us the darkness.
It's bad stuff.
It's bad, guys. It's bad. Murder, forcible sodomy of barnyard animals, adult coloring books. It's gross.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Listen to Carrie Lake. We're not talking about Don Jr. and Eric. Hey, here. You want to show me a gross fucking picture? Here, I'll show you a gross fucking picture of the president's son. Hold on. You want to see some fucking disgusting, and I'm serious, disgusting pictures of the president's son. Get ready. It's a trick question. Former president. This is Don Jr. and Eric, two of the president's son, with a bunch of elective murders of wildlife they carried out, just fucking killing big animals just to be dicks. There you go. There's Eric and them just holding up a dead jaguar. Just fuck it. There you go. Hold on. Here he is. Here he is killing a water buffalo in his Ralph Macchio Rambo outfit. Just. Yeah, there you go. Donald Trump's son's awesome at killing elephants and other wildlife. Here you go. These are. Just adorable. I mean, these are gross pictures. I mean, the stuff that's coming out about this family, right, Tim? I mean, dark shit. I mean, what does this say about how these people were fucking raised? There they go. Just out there. Just the more interesting and staked down, the better. Seriously, compare that shit. Compare this picture to a dude alone in an isolation tank smoking anything and masturbating. And tell me about the harm created or the lack of moral character, because no animals were killed by Hunter Biden dealing with his addiction by masturbating in a sensory deprivation tank. The fuck out of here.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. For the record, Joe Biden has never smoked crack. He has never been addicted to anything. Neither was Beau or his daughter the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. that pop up the pictures. Let me see the pictures of Joe Biden in the mid-70s in a sensory deprivation tank, right after he went and saw Altered States with John Hurt and or William Hurt? William Hurt. And fuck off.
And in my personal opinion, I think Joe Biden was abusive towards his kids.
Why? Because one of them is an addict and the other one was an attorney general and his daughter is completely balanced. So 1 out of 3 kids is an addict. You're abusive. Get the fuck out of here, in your opinion. Based on what? The loving response in the actual article, you prick?
Because you don't turn out like Hunter Biden.
Yeah, that's right. Hear that, parents? Hear that, parents? If your kid is an addict, it's clearly because you were abusive to them. No one becomes a recurrent addict without violent and horrifying dark abuse in childhood. Nobody. Think about that for just attention, Tim Pool viewers. According to him, if somebody's an addict and they're dealing with all this shit, it's because their parents probably diddled them. So that'll probably be the only way they can actually get out of their addiction, right? That's why Tim has a flintlock pistol and an unsheathed samurai sword and an unused guitar on the wall in case one of his parents shows up, lest they beat him so much he picks up a crack pipe.
Unless you had bad parents doing something.
What?
Bad family.
Bad family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, that's just gross. That's just fucking... Yeah, what about... I mean, Trump is a teetotaler. He didn't do anything, allegedly. Now, obviously, Noel Castler would like a word, and those who have watched him, blaze rails of Adderall and God knows what on the set of The Apprentice would say differently. Did Don pick that up from him? Did Eric avoid it? Did they both do it?
You take a look at how Hunter Biden turned out.
Yes, you mean kicking an addiction after a period of time that it was really drastic and dangerous and bad in a dark space, and then he actually came out of it? Oh, so you mean, I know what you're saying. What you're trying to tell me is that Mike Lindell, who's friends with Carrie Lake and supports her, is hopeless, worthless, dark, and evil, and it's his parents' fault.
And then you have to ask yourself about the leadership capabilities of Joe Biden.
Yeah, you do, because he handled this situation in a way that his son survived and lives healthfully with his addiction, like a lot of other people who beat addiction. Read the fucking article. I actually think it's impressive how he handled it with his son. But of course, this is, I don't know, I want to hear Tim Pool's attitude about giving, money to homeless people, because it's just going to go, they're just going to smoke it.
And then you look at the country and...
First of all, Bo wasn't addicted. His daughter's not addicted. His grandkids are doing great. They call him Pop Pop. They talk to him all the fucking time. And by the way, the country just added 375,000 jobs. He cut the deficit in half. He cut unemployment in half. 67% of the country are fully vaccinated. And one of the only other reasons why we have less than that number is because of Tim Pool viewers, Russell Brand viewers, and Trump fans who won't get the vax. And therefore, every time something like BA5 or some shit comes through that might actually start killing people again, like Delta did, we got to watch the numbers kick back up. And I got news for you. Those death rates are not happening in blue states full of Democrats.
You start to put it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Totally. I mean, there's a thin line between smoking crack and actually getting us out of Afghanistan after 21 years. I mean, maybe that's the lesson.
So I don't know.
Anything? Your ass from your elbow?
What you guys...
What's under your hat? I'm going with butt crack. I'm going right here. The reason for the hat.
What your thoughts are on all this stuff. More of this is going to keep coming out, I think.
And eat every bit of it less impressive than the last. Fucking meaningless.
I think it absolutely is indicative.
Thank you, Templeton.
Of who the Democrats are willing to elect, regardless of their moral character.
Yeah.
And
what? regardless of their moral character. Guy's a lifelong Catholic. He's a family man. He's been married to the same woman since his other wife died. His first marriage ended the only way it can end in the Catholic Church, and everybody's okay with it. Death. Took the train every fucking night so he could tuck his kids back in. Like, what kind of gross, ignorant bullshit? Try harder. Jesus Christ, this is gross.
And of the leadership capabilities of the man himself.
Yeah, the leadership. Yeah, you mean the part where even from his basement with small gatherings, he was able to get elected by 81 million fucking votes? Because he was smart enough not to go out and catch a disease that almost wiped him out like Trump did?
That is the point right there.
That is the point. It's so the point. And that's why I brought a hat and a picture of myself with an eagle to put behind me while I'm on someone else's show. All right. Honest to God. Please tell me he always has that there. I mean, because all I can think is little Timmy's going through some, like, hot for teacher moments. Well, honestly, what the fuck is that? I mean, it's one thing to have a glamour shot, but it shouldn't be an eagle. It should be another angle of your face. Yeah, this is Timcast.
We knew there were problems.
Did we? Did we know there were problems? Yeah, that tape came out about him, like, thinking he could just grab any woman by the pussy if he wants to. Oh, wait, that's not him.
This is not news to a lot of people.
Yes, that's true. Well spotted. The first moment of truth in this whole thing. Accidental message from Carrie Lake. Tim, this is not news. Though the Daily Mail wants it to be, because it's shit that happened years ago, because they want to take the fact that the president's son went through addiction and beat it and turn it into a negative, instead of, like, you know, if he was a true Republican, he would have just let his son die, I guess is the message. Why the fuck not? Right, Tim? Right?
I was following this before the 2020 election.
You think?
I knew a lot of this before the 2020 election.
No, you didn't. Well, I mean, you knew Hunter was a crack addict at one point, I think, in the same way that you know Mike Pillow was a crack addict around the same time. And you know why you know both those things? Because both of them wrote it in their fucking biographies, their autobiographies.
And the fact that the media kept that, the corporate media bosses kept that.
Corporate media bosses. Yeah, they have this thing about not showing verifiable information just to sway an election right before an election, especially stuff that turns out to be bullshit later.
From making its way.
Honest to God, can I just point out to the fact that the story that they're talking about right now makes clear that the Biden family in no way has the ridiculous shit ton of crazy foreign money they're supposed to have, because if they did, Hunter would have been able to pay his own bills. Fuck's sake.
People, so they could make an educated vote.
They did.
And decision when they went to vote.
Look at Twitter.
Again, what?
But there
Look at Twitter, he says.
were a lot of Democrats who probably knew that and said they didn't like Trump, so they so wanted to get President Trump out that they were willing to vote for someone like that.
No one voted for Hunter Biden. Fuck are you talking about? Yes, I will say that one of the things that did make me more likely to vote for Joe Biden was that he had a child that went through addiction who is still alive, and he loves him. I know, it's gross.
You know what the reality is?
No. Tell me what the reality is, Tim.
Trump has done bad stuff.
Carrie's going to reach across and smack you. Maybe that's what you want.
You know, he's said mean things.
He's said mean things. He's sexually assaulted people. He's hung out with Jeffrey fucking Epstein. He's lied to the IRS and the banks at the same time about the same piece of property both ways.
Called Stormy Daniels horse face. He called
Stormy Daniels horseface. By the way, that's not so much the problem. That's just piggish bullshit. The part where he fucked her while Melania was home with 4-month-old Barron. That would be, for Republicans, one would think that would be the standout part.
Didn't he call someone a fat pig or something like that?
Rose.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, it's just all women, though. I appreciate you, at least acknowledging that was bad, or I guess dismissing them as nothing, because these are against women.
O'Donnell?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Only Rosie O'Donnell. I remember that from the debate. Only Rosie O'Donnell.
But here's the issue. The overwhelming majority of the bad things they claimed Trump did, they made up.
Did they? What would be those things?
They fabricated it.
They did. They fabricated it. Which is why he had to get Bill Barr to stop them looking into his finances in the Mueller investigation and not be able to indict him based on the charges that they found evidence for, even then when they offered up a reason for why he could be indicted from the Mueller report. But we're talking about before the election. This is before, I suppose we're talking about 2015, 2016. We made up the fact that he hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. We made up the fact that he bragged about grabbing women between the legs without their permission. We made up the fact that all these women came out against him. They were all lying bitches, obviously, Tim.
So with...
I just don't want to get distracted by Donald Trump when we're talking about the Biden family.
Yeah.
Biden,
No, because if you start talking about that, you're going to recognize that the things he was accused of largely do affect your judgment and did affect his judgment in a way that actually impacts policy, in the way that so far the Biden administration has not tried to legalize crack, I suppose.
family is its own thing that's pretty horrific when you...
It's horrific. Horrific. Why would you, when your son asks you for money for rehab, why would you help? Why would you do it?
When you start to dig it open.
Agreed. My point is just...
Agreed. Totally. Yes. Cosign.
We had an election in 2020, and it
excuse me. Carrie Lake would like a word.
was between Trump and it was between Biden. And what the
Okay. This is the reality part, I think.
Biden voters are going to say is, you expected me to vote for Trump?
Yes.
He called white supremacists very fine people, which he never
That wasn't
actually
true.
did. Exactly. And so they believed the lies.
Well, I for the record, he said he ran on getting us out of Afghanistan. He never did. He also couldn't pass an infrastructure bill at all. He also pissed away any running start we had at muting the effects of COVID because he was trying to finish his Chinese treaty, his trade bill, which had 3 phases. He only signed 1 phase, and they never honored it. Also, apparently, the wall made the border worse,
Is about Trump.
and it was never paid for by Mexico. Does Tim have facts and evidence we don't have?
They believe the lies about people like Kyle Rittenhouse. I tweeted the Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
What the fuck does Kyle Rittenhouse have to do with this? And they believe nothing. You guys, we talked about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing as it came out, and none of what he's about to say applies to what I talked about in this, and I was very forthcoming about this. But I voted for Joe Biden with a clear head and based on reasons of stuff that I actually want to be accomplished for the country, that I believe will even benefit the people that don't like me, like Tim and his little like 3-weapon band.
Was put me over the edge to vote for Trump because I saw how they're trying to destroy this guy, and we needed to push back and stop this. And that was and Trump pinned it to his profile on Twitter. And that was used by many on the left to accuse me of being wrong or being right wing or whatever, or far right. But I was correct.
When in fact you actually...
First of all, I had many of the same references too, and I didn't catch any of that shit because I can explain what I'm saying in a clear enough way where people know that they understand my explanation instead of it just looking like cover for me to be a dick. That's the problem Tim has.
had the courage to stand up and say the
No one even knows this guy. I'll have you know. 1.3 million subscribers, kids. Carrie Lake is running for Arizona governor, and she's on his show, largely because it's, she's on his bucket list of crushes, I suppose.
truth about a young man who was being persecuted. And they want...
Oh, you mean Hunter Biden? During the time that he was addicted? And people have taken those videos and those pictures out of context and created their own narrative for their own... sorry. Fucking with you.
wanted to tear you apart and destroy you. And when...
Meanwhile, let's get back to this video of Hunter Biden when he was hooked on crack from 2018, and recognize that The people don't change, and if your kid's an addict, it's your fucking fault. And if they survive, you don't get any points.
When that happened to you, you probably went, ooh, I think I know a little bit what it must be like to be President Trump right now. I'm feeling
No. That I can, no. No. There has never been a point where I have known what it's like to be that dude. I've never put on a pair of pants and yelled, "God damn it." I've never sat somewhere as a woman I found attractive entered the room and had the urge to physically touch her without her permission. I've had the urge to get her to want to touch me because I think that's how the game should be played. But I've never gone, fuck it. I just want to grab her. I can do it. They'll let me. Nobody's going to give a shit. Huh?
that myself.
I've never actually been with someone and gone, I got to get a newer model. This one's getting a little... It's not that I mind. It's just that I can't take her out in public anymore because what are people going to think of me if I bring this old thing out? Like, I don't know what the fuck.
Because I'm being attacked right now.
Are you? Are you being attacked? It's bad. I'm being attacked right now. I think that's just the way Tim is staring at you. By the way, I don't want you to feel nervous, but there's a door right behind you if you need to escape. And Tim basically just gave the whole idea of grab him by the pussy without asking a pass as okay behavior. He gave a green light to that. So, and you, by staying in the room, according to, I guess, his thinking, that makes it okay for him to do that because that's sort of your consent, even if he thought it was necessary, which apparently he doesn't.
And
you're getting 1/50th of it.
Exactly.
1/50th of it. Well, I mean...
I talk to President Trump regularly, and I said, I know I'm getting the Trump treatment right now.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, wait a minute, you're getting sandblasted and spray tanned with mandarin orange slices while a hooker you've had flown in from another state by a young congressman shoves fish delights down your throat while you troot? No. Oh, well, then what are you talking about?
And, you said he's done some bad things. I don't think he has. I just...
No. Well, again, green light.
Disagree with you on that. I think he's...
Yeah, he's done nothing but great things, okay? He's never done a bad thing. Watch your mouth, young man.
He's done some amazing things.
Amazing things. Some awful things, too, but the amazing makes up for it, He's like, let's say Jesus walked on water, but only because under the water were stacked babies that were fighting to get to the surface. You still can't take away the fact that he walked on water.
His family, I know them. They're incredible people.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Don Jr.'s family, Kimberly probably better.
But the media's been tearing them apart.
They have? I'm sorry. Has the media been dredging up videos from 2018? Well, I just showed some pictures from them on a fucking hunt, so sure. W, thank you so much. I really tried to make it 1,000. I love you all as much as I say that. I'm sensitive. The liberal movement is to be realized. The liberal movement is to be realized. You have to stop being so sensitive. I agree. We're not being sensitive. We're overriding that. Hal, please go do the Republican Arizona governor. Tim is a tool. Okay. Thank you, Anastasia. Holy smokes, you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And Templeton, thanks for being a member as well. And again, thank you, Carol Cobb and Robert and Nurse M. Thank you for being a member. Thanks, everybody. Water Goddess and Ginger Freak of Nature and everybody for doing the bits. And thank you for the stars on Facebook. Okay, here we go. Back to this nonsense. Good God. How did something so shocking become so boring so quickly?
Since 2015, 2016.
Oh, no, that's not true. People have been shitting on him since the 80s. It took him a while to gather a cult of people who were dumb enough to look past what an asshole he is. Andrea, I did. I think. Did I miss? Yes, I said it. It'll be a moment. Thank you so much.
And
Well,
some people have just bought into that because they still believe the media. And what I want to tell people after working in it for 30 years is
Yeah, she's been working in media for 30 years. She was a local TV reporter, TV anchor person from.
turn it off. Do not believe it.
Yeah, don't watch, whatever you do, don't watch anybody who's just sitting there with a microphone in front of them wearing I'm just spitballing here, a peach sweatshirt, blouse thing. Don't buy it. Do not, especially if they look right in the camera when they say it.
They've got an agenda. And
Do they? Yes, they do. The agenda is try to tell the truth as best you can, and if you don't tell the truth, go back and fix it.
you just can't believe it. I mean, honestly, I'm getting better information here at Timcast.
Are you? Because he reads you the Daily Mail rag shit.
You're putting out, I'm listening to you before this show, and you're very thoughtful on what you're putting out and
He totally is. I mean, that's why I can't take his beanie off, because you'd see his brain glow.
making sure things are accurate. We're not.
You're sure things are accurate? Hunter Biden caught smoking crack in video from years ago where it's alleged that he is smoking crack, but not proven. Great. Yes. The details are flying hard and
Not all
fast.
perfect. Sometimes you make a mistake.
Yeah. Well, nobody is.
I'm watching you, and after working 30 years in TV
The Love Boat soon
and
will
journalism,
be
I'm
making
thinking, this is more
another
journalism
run.
than what
The
I was seeing in journalism the last at
love
least 5-6 years.
Soon
I will
we'll
say,
be
to clarify
fooled with Carrie's drool.
my point on Trump, I think Trump is great.
Okay. I think Trump is great. This is like a date where you accidentally said the wrong thing, you know? It's like, did you ever see, like, if anybody knows Groundhog Day, that where he's trying to learn all the cues to sleep with Andy McDowell, and at one point he goes, did you study anything in college? And she said, yeah, I studied 17th century French poetry. And he goes, what a waste of time. I mean, that would be, for some people, that'd be a waste of time, but for you, it makes you a very strong person. And then the next time they cut to him, she's like, I studied 17th century French poets. He goes, La mer, je t'en rebut. He starts quoting. She's like, you speak French? Oui. Like, that's what this is. This is such a weird date, Tim. I can't. The heaving of the sweater. It's like I almost, the only thing I can do to keep my eyes off of her gaze is to look at the picture of her and the eagle just over her shoulder. Pant, pant, pant.
I think
I think he's great. He's great. Trump is great. He did great stuff. All of it was great. What was wrong with it? It was great. We touch it.
I can understand why people don't like his character.
Well, it was just a show. You know what I mean? He wasn't the writer. He just played it out.
I tell these stories. I've talked to regular people, say they don't
Regular people? Where do you find them?
like the way he talks, but I know a lot of people do like the way he talks.
Yeah. And I do. I like the way he talks. You like the way he talks. We both like the way he talks. You want to go watch him talk someplace? We touch it?
And the way I
Like, this is just... Like, how does he book this show? With Tinder? Holy fuck. He just keeps walking into this rake where he's just, like, you can't be balanced in a conversation about Trump with her in the room, you dumbass. I talk to normal people, and they don't like it. Most normal, I mean, they're not normal. Those aren't normal. You know, though, those kind of normal people, the plebes.
saw it was we needed someone to fight back, especially with the media lying about people like Kyle Rittenhouse.
You do realize the Rittenhouse thing happened after Trump was in office, and 2 years after he eliminated the cops program, which would have very possibly cost, if it had stayed in process, it would have cost Chauvin his job, and George Floyd may have never died. There may have been other officers dealing with George Floyd, and he would have survived that day. All right.
But no one's perfect.
Nobody's I mean, what do you want? Perfection? Huh? We think he is. I mean, not everybody has to stay married to someone, and if they die, get remarried and stay with that person for the rest of their life. I mean, can't we at least once have a president with 4 wives?
We needed a brash New Yorker to come.
A brash New Yorker. Yeah, that's what all the Southerners were voting for. A brash New Yorker.
Come in. Remember,
Then why did Rudy lose? Probably the sweat.
he beat back 18 other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Google Santorum, Jeb Bush. Yeah, it was a brutal field. It was gladiator politics.
Republicans, many of them rhinos, establishment swamp creatures. We needed a tough, brash New Yorker who told it like it was. We couldn't get some meal.
Yeah, you couldn't get somebody who'd actually gotten elected multiple times and accomplished stuff while they were in office and were in line with all the wants and desires of the Republican Party for years and would have soft walked some of the stuff through and actually made it happen and wouldn't have wasted all their political capital building a wall that apparently doesn't fucking work at all. If it doesn't blow over, it makes the crowds worse.
Mealy mouth person to do that. And thank God he came in at that point.
Yeah, thank God he came in and wasn't mealy mouthed about anything and almost wrecked NATO right before Russia was planning on attacking. That's weird.
There are things that Trump. Here's what I want to say.
Yeah, here's what I want to say. Nothing that will ruin my chances.
What Joe Biden is, I view him as corrupt. I view Trump as having done bad things as either mistakes or.
Yeah, that's what it is. Biden's an evil, doddering, forgetful, barely able to finish the sentence, criminal mastermind. Trump is largely a fuck up, but for good.
Making bad decisions. People are allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, they're allowed to make mistakes, unless they're Hunter Biden, in which case, fuck them. Addicts should die. We should have set that chamber on boil, apparently, right? Just cook the fucker.
People are allowed to make bad decisions. You criticize them for it and say, do better.
Oh, okay. Like, so an addict who was doing some stuff that was shady or sketchy, and then their parents helped them work their way through it, and then they got better. No, that doesn't apply. Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm. There's things about Donald Trump that I personally don't like, but for the most part, I think he's a good guy. I think he was actually a really great president.
All right. Tim doesn't believe what he just said. Did you see the look away in the blink? He's a really great president.
I don't like some of his foreign policy decisions, but I overwhelmingly like his foreign policy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that settles it.
So, commando raid potentially killed a little girl, an American citizen. That's what we've heard. I would like to see an inquiry into that. Getting our troops out of the Middle East was the first president in my lifetime who not only did not start a war.
What, motherfucker, what do you think being in Syria and then giving up the bases to Russia was?
But was actually ending wars. So for
was ending. Yeah, he was ending them. He was in the process.
That here's what do
you realize Biden actually fucking did?
What I want to be careful of.
Oh, all right. Now,
if you come out and you're just like Trump is the best, he's so good, then people who have questions about things he's done, they close down. But
because they don't know better. They're not. I mean, these aren't real people. These are weak people.
I also don't want to play this game where it's like, oh, Trump was so awful, when the reality is, oh yeah, it wasn't perfect. He did some things that I think were questionable, wrong, or just bad. But Joe Biden is 100-fold.
Yeah.
Despicable. Because he paid for his son's rehab, apparently. And his son, later went through rehab and made it through with his own money, but at that point wasn't spending good fucking
Hundredfold.
guy.
I think, yeah, what you're saying is you're trying to say, hey,
Yeah, fix it for him because he's really blowing the state, and you both want it to go the same direction.
you know, Trump wasn't perfect. We're all humans, but Joe Biden is not just imperfect. He is corrupt.
Malicious.
He's
He's malicious. Okay, he's malicious. I mean, who else but a vicious person would work so hard to put a black woman on the Supreme Court? I mean, that's just disgusting.
Malicious, and you look
Yeah, look at this guy. He's like, yeah, bro, totally, bro, dude, bro. I mean, totally, bro. This is, we need somebody to come on who actually watches Tim Pool. Do I have somebody that actually, I watch Tim Pool. That's my favorite show. Bro, this is so good. This is best. You don't even know. You don't even fucking know, bro. You don't know. These lib turds, they don't even fucking know, bro. Bro, they don't even fucking know. Biden's the fucking worst. Where we go one, we go all. Ha, ha, ha.
look at his family. We know
Yeah, look at his family, man. Like, I mean, smoking crack. I mean, Mike Pillow smoked crack, but look, Mike Pillow's a good guy. Mike Pillow likes Trump. He smoked crack, and like some people, like you smoke crack and your brain goes one direction, and you like Trump, and you're like, oh, that fixed you. That like totally. But then like some people smoke crack, and you're like, oh, I want to be happy with a family or some gross shit like that. That's what fucking does it, bruh.
Trump's got attacked and his children got attacked. Joe
Yeah, dude, they totally attacked him. They like did like they memed him, which no one should ever do. Nobody. I mean, that's just wrong. Like when people go on the internet, bro, on the internet, when people go on the internet and they make a little graphic or something and they put it on the thing. That's fucking wrong, bro.
Joe Biden raised this family, and if you look at his daughter's diary, I mean, this is crossing the line in a serious way.
Terrible.
Where
Oh, terrible. The way his daughter has like wrote down her private, intimate thoughts, and the worst thing is like if you read his diary, like he was always trying to invade her privacy. Apparently, I mean, that's what I took away from it. I don't know what you took away from it. Fucking horrible.
police should have been involved,
Wiggy wigga.
possibly
QAnon number 17. Where we go on, we go all patriot.
even arrests involved.
Joe Biden.
There's such insidious
It's insidious. She's right, bro. It's like insidious. Hashtag insidious.
stuff in that family.
Yeah.
And it's not
By the way, ma'am, no lie, you kind of scare me. You give me kind of like, ladies march vibes. I'm in-selling right now. Like I could feel myself in-selling. Can you guys feel yourself in-selling? I can feel it.
not just the reasons that people dislike either of them, but there's such an organic appeal to Trump.
Yeah, don't say organic. That's like so, like that's part of the agenda. Like the new world order. That's like liberal world order shit. Don't eat organic, man. Chemicals all the way.
Whereas the support for Biden is all reluctant support.
Yeah, they're all hesitant. The rest of us are like, yeah, I totally support Trump.
Because they hated Trump.
Yeah, they hate him, and you can tell anybody that the hater of my hate is my friend. No, the hater of my friend is my hater. I hate everybody. Fuck this.
I don't see anybody enthusiastic about Biden.
Nobody's enthusiastic about Biden. Everybody loves you. They're like, I mean, obviously, why else would I spend all weekend drawing that picture? You know how long that eagle took me? Fuck.
Never.
And I
But-
didn't see it before
it's shocking that
2020
they're
either.
so brazenly.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, dude, Biden didn't even have a fucking job in government. He couldn't get elected anything. Like, I mean, like you'd think like the Democrats would like at least have a vice president or something. Shit.
Just screwing the American people.
Yeah, it's almost like
Well, that's my job actually. That's my whole thing, man. I mean, I don't want to. No lie, this isn't an authentic American accent. I'm just saying.
their hatred for President Trump is so overwhelming.
Yeah, they hate him. Why do they hate him so much? That's the worst thing about them. That's the liberals are all full of hate. They're full of hate. They hate everything. They hate. Well, they hate Trump. I don't know about the other stuff.
Eating them up that they're willing to sacrifice our country.
That's right. They don't understand that Trump and the land are one.
Our Constitution, our freedoms, to
I-
go,
I-
okay, we got him out.
I don't know if it.
That's true. I will vouch for that. I've hung around with Tim a lot. I'm in his chat room a bunch. Like Tim and I are like this, and this is me. I'm on top. I'm in Tim's chat all the time, and when he says I don't know, he fucking means it, bro. Like he's like he'll ride raw to the end.
It's
I mean, wait.
Actually, that they hate Trump. I don't know if they're smart enough to actually hate the man.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's exactly right, bro. That's why, like trolls, man. We know how we hate means you're smart. Okay. That's obvious to anybody who even like does their own research, bro. Hate is the highest form of intelligence. The left can't meme hashtag where we go one, we go all.
So I think it may have been Austin Peterson, Lydia, correct me if I'm wrong, who was talking
Don't correct him if he's wrong. That's like so LGBT, you know what I'm saying?
about a friend of theirs. But we had a guest on saying their friend believed, they were like
Oh, beliefs. That's scary.
a liberal Democrat, that Trump called white nationalists very fine people. And
Yeah, that's not true. He said that there were people who were amongst the white nationalists who were very fine people who wanted to keep a Robert E. Lee statue up. Duh.
so he said, just here, read the transcript. And the person started reading it and then
And started crying because her big girl's blouse.
like paused and then scrolled back and started reading it again.
He's such a good actor. I gotta say, Tim's use of space in his improv is like I could see that phone. I could fucking see it.
And then just froze, got up and left the room.
Maybe they had to shit. I'm just saying. There's a lot of reasons why I've left a room. Maybe they wanted to go immediately to a sensory deprivation tank and jack off. I mean, who hasn't had that impulse?
Unable to process the fact that Donald Trump never said white nationalists were very fine people.
He just said he was indiscriminate about the people who were on the white nationalist side, which is totally fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was Austin Peterson. Yeah.
It was also Peterson talking. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, bro. Totally. He told us a story and it was totally true.
I remember that.
That was a totally true anecdote. Trust the science. Facts don't care about your feelings.
And it was a huge story. And I remember hearing his entire remarks and going, I don't remember him saying that.
Well, you black out a lot. I'm just saying.
Then the media would perpetuate it over and over. And I
terrible.
even went
Joe
back
Biden did.
a couple of times and listened to what President Trump said.
Yeah, but in all fairness, this is why we love you, Carrie. That's true of every Trump speech. Okay? I mean, there's literally nothing Trump has said in the last 6 years that you haven't gone back and rewatched like 50 fucking times.
Am I hearing something wrong? Because everyone's
Well, this is a trick question.
saying he said this, and I remember hearing that. Looking back at it a couple times just to make sure I didn't mishear it.
So I don't think they
Yeah, see, he says it all the time, and he means it. See, that's it. Tim is a mean. Mean. I wish men were called means because it would be so much truer to how I feel as a person. I'm like, yeah, means rights. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm starting my own means rights organization. Tim will tell you the truth all the time. When he says I don't know like 5 times in something, and I don't think, he's not fucking around, bro.
hate Trump. I mean, they do hate him, but what I mean to say is,
Yeah, you know what? Rephrase, bro. You're totally in there. Use what you learned in that pickup artist book. Go for it, bro.
it's not real because
What? You saying I'm not real, bro? You saying what I'm saying isn't real? You think this isn't real somehow? What the fuck are you saying, man? Are you saying what she's not saying real? I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
because they don't know. They didn't investigate. They didn't bother to. I think what actually motivates these people is fitting in.
That's right. Yep, totally. Fitting in. Like trying to get points, being in online, like making your bros laugh and like being in a clique and using the same memes and using certain hashtags and then pushing back, and like having them, like clapping laughter about when you fuck with these people, like fitting in. Oh, you mean they fit? Oh, you mean they're fit? When they try to fit. Oh, fuck that.
So you walk around New York and everyone just says, oh yeah, I hate Trump too.
That's weird. They really do that? Fuck, man. New York is a violent, fucked up place. I mean, shootings are one thing, but people walk around doing jazz hands saying, I hate Trump. That's just fucking low, bro.
And so they go, okay, that's their identity.
Yes, that's what it is. They took the I Love New York thing down. I heard this. I've seen this. They took the I Love New York thing. They took it down, and it just says, I hate Trump. It's like the heart, but it's rotten.
Fitting in socially is more important.
Right.
Yeah, it's like they're like the United Colors of Benetton of fucking losers.
Than being inquisitive and finding out the truth.
That's right. Nobody's inquisitive. They want to hide behind memes and goofy symbols and shit like that and hashtags instead of actually doing the research.
For me,
Do you think people living in more conservative?
That's probably the best thing he said so far. Check that out, bro. Like this, you want to sum up Tim Pool? Here it is. Let's do this. Let me show you guys the majesty of Tim Pool. Watch this next little sentence that comes out of his mouth. Like this is why he's the man. This is why he's the master.
Being inquisitive and finding
Here it
out
comes.
the truth.
For me,
Do you think people living in
I mean, dude, that's like, I mean, you've seen him say, I don't know, like a bunch of times. And then he says, I don't think. I mean, I thought he couldn't fucking top that shit. And look what he did, bro. That was amazing. Just to fucking lay there. Just to fucking, just go, and just be like, that's fucking, I mean, we all kneel before Tim, only so we can look at him eye to eye.
more conservative areas do the same thing?
Seriously, chick, you're scaring me right now. Honest to God. I'm getting like total. If it wasn't for the headphones, I think you kind of look like a DJ in a horror movie.
Well,
A
I
little
can tell
bit.
Yeah, that was a good line too.
you because I live in a red state.
Not anymore. Fucking Arizona, man. Why is it that every time the Republicans run an election, Trump fucking loses, man? I don't get it. That's not. What are you guys doing?
I think we're a little bit.
She's looking at me. Tim, you jealous yet? She's checking me out. She's checking my pecs out. Look where she's looking at my pecs. Look at that. Huh? I learned that from a pickup artist book. I know 2 card tricks and where to hide a condom.
A lot more.
In your hair. It's right behind your ear like a cigarette.
Who cares what they think about us? We want the
That's right. Fuck, we don't care about your feelings.
truth.
We're like human facts.
Yep.
Now, not to say we don't have people in Arizona who are,
Yes, well, I don't know if there are people in Arizona. I don't buy it.
like you just described, they're more. The peer pressure gets to them.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's probably because it's a college area. A lot of college chicks and that kind of stuff, which is good because that means they're dumb, easy lace. You know what I'm saying? So there's a pluses and negatives.
That's why when I see, to be honest, a young conservative, and we have a lot of them involved in our campaign.
Yeah, but what's the matter? You can't keep the older ones interested? Do they lose interest or something like that? I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. You want porous head youngins.
And they'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired by you. And I think, oh, I'm a middle-aged woman.
Don't sell yourself short. There's well, tell her, Tim.
Of course I'm going to be bossy and tell it like it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, chicks are mouthy. Trump warned us about this. I mean, you get lippy. I mean, evangelicals are right about a couple of things.
This is what middle-aged women do, right? But I say, no, I'm inspired by you. When there's a young person, 18, 20 years old, 20.
Yeah, you follow them home. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. As a middle-aged woman, you follow 18, 20-year-olds around.
22, who's pushing back against that peer pressure. Is that what you still call it? Peer pressure? Is that an outdated
Yeah, kids, that's what the kids say today. Hashtag peer pressure. Based Carrie.
word? They're pushing back against their social.
I'm genuinely getting bored just even dealing with these dickheads. Just the attempt at sounding normal. It's like listening to Jeff Zuckerberg talk to an AI dating app.
Social pressure, social media, and speaking the truth.
By the way, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. We're dealing with Tim Pool today because Tim Pool, apparently, remember, this started out as something about Hunter Biden caught smoking crack, which is him showing an article from 2018, or from recently, about a video from 2018 that was allegedly found on the hard drive labeled laptop that was part of the non-existent laptop that Rudy Giuliani brought back from Ukraine from the Russians that sold it to him for $5 million. when it was originally on sale for $3. Obviously Rudy's read Art of the Deal.
Truth. That is actually very courageous.
Well, let's talk about the founding fathers, because before the show we had some interesting data points.
And as a middle-aged woman, you've met the founding fathers, and if you'll notice, over my shoulder, I have, and it's cocked. I have a founding firearm, if you know what I'm saying. It's not as long as the ones you may have seen, and it may not shoot straight, but I've got one ball stuffed down it.
Lydia, do you still have that data about the founding fathers?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Data about the founding fathers.
read it?
Wait, they're not going to show a video of George Washington in a hot tub jacking off, are they? And call it breaking news. George Washington caught masturbating in a hot tub.
Sure. Well, we pulled it up, and it looks like the founding fathers were, I want to say James Monroe was 18 years old.
18.
This is when the
These are the signers of the
when they signed
Declaration.
the Declaration of
Yeah, that's what the Alice Cooper song is about.
Independence.
18.
18 years old. Yep. 2 of them were 20 years old. The oldest one mentioned here was, Thomas Jefferson was 33.
Wow.
And we have 20, 20, and 25.
Who were the 20?
Madison was 25?
I believe so, yeah.
I saw
Monroe was
the
18.
responses to that. It's a tweet, right? Listing
No,
those
it's a
ages.
story.
I saw a tweet that was listing those ages, and the responses were like, well, it's because the life expectancy back then was like 45. So an 18-year-old was the same as a
But that's-
35-year-old.
That's not true.
That's
Like,
not true. Yeah.
that
It's not true. Yeah. 18-year-old is not, a 17-year-old is not a 34-year-old. And Matt Gaetz needs to be reminded of that. However, because there were fewer distractions and people had to get about having an actual life, people tended to do more serious endeavors at a younger age because life was harder, or they just fucking died.
Yeah.
The reason the average life expectancy was so low was because of infant mortality.
Yeah,
But if you
exactly.
survived infancy, you were expected to live to be
Exactly.
70 or 80 years old.
Yeah, you're
We were talking, I think it was Ian and I were saying, and I would take a 9 or 10-year-old from that era because they were so competent. They could farm.
Yes, right. I would take child labor. Okay, this is the fucking argument. What?
They could hunt. They could do anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, it's like, remember on Bigfoot and Wild Boy? That kid was fucking How about Mad Max? What about the kid with the boomerang? Shit. I mean, who wouldn't rather have him than Tim Pool?
They were so resourceful. I would
I found people who make MTG sound smart. It was difficult, but I think we managed to do it.
trade them probably for, the average person in America today who
Okay, so, fuck me. What?
is not able to have those survival skills that they had back then.
Somebody's
Because you had to, fucko, or you just died.
What? Stoned on aspartame. These
Stoned on
crazy fake sugars.
Well, we're not
They weren't stoned on aspartame. These crazy fake sugars. I see. So the idea is that sugar substitutes fuck people up, so we're not as smart as the generations before. All right.
practically skilled or emotionally sophisticated, developed either.
Well, you talked
Yeah.
about
Well, speak for your fucking self, and maybe it's the crowd you're surrounded by.
what's happening with the farmers, and maybe there could be a food shortage at some point. Back then, they wouldn't worry about that because they were growing their own food.
Yeah, back then, remember the Dust Bowl? They didn't worry about the Dust Bowl. They could just grow their own food after it's just in the Dust Bowl. If there was a blight or a famine, or they couldn't get supplies from someplace, they just grow their own food. They were bootstrappers, 9-year-old farmers who are like, Paul, it looked like the bison have come through and trampled our crop. They've run over Ma. They knocked down the church. They heading towards Nellie Olson's house. What are we going to do? Get the shovel. Let's start over.
Regarding this climate change fear that they're
The angry hippie.
telling farmers not to grow food, I find this sad.
They're telling farmers not to grow fruit/food.
because there's a lot of evidence that we can withdraw the carbon from the atmosphere. I don't know if you've been following or even
With
know
more
about
farming?
this. What's that?
With more farming.
With more farming. I don't know.
Plants absorb carbon.
That's why.
This is... Oh. At least we're getting the facts here. Thank God Carrie can come somewhere and he checks his facts. This is fucking amazing. I never watched this shit. I had no idea it was this dumb. Yeah, by the way, this video is called Hunter Biden Caught Smoking Crack. Not someone is hotboxing this room with crack and seeing how these people start thinking.
One way to do it, but you can actually deposit the carbon dioxide onto like palladium or other metals and then withdraw the carbon from it and get graphene, just
here we
a
go.
building material. But they don't know.
Oh, here we go. They don't know.
It's like the politics.
Yeah, graphene construction is not gonna one-to-one remove carbon dioxide from the fucking... It's a 1 molecule thick material. Fuck. Bro science. Oh, God. It's the best.
Politicians either don't know. I assume they don't know. It's ignorance. Because if they knew...
If they knew, they would just let it pump. Just fucking go, bro. Graphene, shit.
There would be another discussion like, it's the most valuable resource on Earth, this carbon. And if we could...
It's carbon dioxide, dumb fuck. It's not carbon. There's plenty of carbon. And by the way, one of the reasons that carbon and carbon dioxide gets released in is because when they have a harvest, the decaying plant material or the burned plant material releases most of the carbon that came out of the ground through the plants growing.
Could just get it back. You can get it right out of the smokestack too.
Well, so do you...
They just roll past, like he does this.
Ian, do you know where the mass of a tree comes from?
Where does the mass of a tree come from? I mean, who knew that a Hunter Biden caught smoking crack video would be so educational? My God. I seriously, this is like one of those, it's like one of those movies where cut to someone is like Cheech and Chong are just blowing pot smoke into a room.
The roots.
No. Were you being
guess.
serious? Or?
I don't know.
Do you guys know where like
bark.
a tree grows, right?
Oh, slow down. Right? A tree grows. Bro, come on. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not. Joe Brogan? Really? Is that what we're gonna call him? Bro Rogan? I have to back this up. Run that by me again. I wasn't able to grasp it.
No. Were you
That's my
being
guess.
serious? Or?
I don't know.
Were you being serious? He goes, the roots. Look at the look on Tim's face when he says, were you being serious? These guys work with each other all the time. They're always around each other. In theory. I guess these are the regulars. Fuck me.
From?
The roots.
See, he's got his fist up. He's making a joke. The roots. All right, it's clear. We know that angry science hippie is making a gag. He doesn't know what the answer that Tim's looking for is, so he's just going to throw in something cute to move the conversation along.
No. Were you
That's my
being
guess.
serious? Or?
Like he looks like he's now I gotta fire you because you're shit. I'm beginning to understand why Carrie Lake was able to get a spot on this fucking show. This is amazing. Jesus Christ. Oh shit. I can't look at his face. I'm gonna die. Were you being serious? Shit. I'll move on a second. I can't. Oh God. He's like almost mad.
Tree comes from?
The roots.
No. Were
That's
you
my
being
guess.
serious, or
I don't know.
do you
yeah.
guys know where
The
like
bark.
a tree grows? Right? There's mass accumulating. Where
Okay. I'm with you so far. Hang in there.
does that matter come from?
Where does it come from? From the Lord, obviously.
CO2.
That's right.
Because
Comes from the air.
It sucks out kind of what we consider
Exactly.
pollution. What we consider pollution is its life.
The building
needed.
blocks of a tree come from the air. It takes.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, you know how this is fucking amazing. Yeah, trees don't grow up through the guy's like from the roots. He's like, you fucking serious, bro? A tree, the mass accumulates because it just magnetizes to the mass. It all comes from the tree. Takes pollution and makes tree. It makes tree.
The carbon. It builds.
It's like
from
how-
the air.
Jesus Christ. More CO2, more fucking trees. You don't get it, do you?
Ours comes from the food that we eat. That's their food, is the carbon dioxide. Well, it's also water.
Well, and
Well, it's also water, and water and CO2, fucking equal parts, mix them up, fucking tree, bro. This is, yeah. And then it shits 2x4s and you make houses.
they
the
emit
soil.
oxygen as
They
well,
make-
right? We kind of are.
They take the carbon dioxide and rip the carbon off and spit the oxygen back out.
Yeah, that's really, it's part of the chewing process. Oh, fucking hell.
So when you have farmers being told not to farm, it's like those crops actually absorb carbon from the atmosphere.
Oh, whatever. Jesus Christ. First of all, I don't even know that farmers are being told not to farm. I don't know where the fuck that comes from. Secondly, it's the petrochemicals in the fertilizer that are the issue. Industrial farming, not farmers, you dumb fuck. Holy shit, this is stupid. Somebody's asking for baby HAL in this situation, and I just think it's wrong to introduce him to these people. I just do.
Why would you not?
Hold on, wait. However, maybe this will work, bro. How about this, bro? Yeah. Like Tim and I, we went to school together. Yeah, we went to Beanie Middle School, and then we went to Tuke Junior High, and then we got left back, and we went to Sock Cap Secondary School, and then I dropped out, bro.
Not want that. Now I can understand concerns about nitrogen, is what they're saying.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. Come on. Nitrogen? Really? You buy that nitrogen fucking story?
That's what talking about carbon. But we want more plants to be growing. So why
Yeah, totally. We want more plants to be growing.
wouldn't you just be like, hey, plant a bunch of trees?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just do that? Why do the Democrats not want more trees? What the fuck?
Like, allocate a certain amount of time, plant trees in these places.
Yeah, just, block out a part of your day between weed and Call of Duty and plant a fucking tree, you lazy fucking hippie. How are we supposed to get graphene?
Anyway, look, I'm not going to pretend to be an environmental expert.
Why not? You were doing so well.
I'm sure whatever I said made no sense.
I like, why would you not cut this off the end of the video? Why? I mean, the whole video is about Hunter Biden caught smoking. Cut the video at 4 minutes where people might still continue to buy your bullshit. And then you wag dick about stuff you know nothing about, make an ass out of yourself, like literally stunned that your friend suggests that the bulk of the tree is grown through the roots as it pulls nutrients up through the soil, which is what it does, because he's making kind of a cute joke. And you're like, bro, what are you fucking with me about this for? What is this?
Scientists is probably like, Tim, you're wrong for these
Sure,
reasons.
but like
Yes, scientists, but yeah, fuck those people. You know what I mean? They talk all weird.
But don't you think that
don't really
Don't you all think that science is really the devil?
know anything either?
Exactly.
They're
They're in the
legislating
same
on
position.
it. Yeah.
What were you saying, Carrie?
Well, I think we all want a healthy environment. We want to have clean air, clean water.
Yeah, that's why you and Trump were advocating through for a pipeline that would go through Lake Michigan that does not pump American oil to an American source. It simply gets Canadian tar sands oil to market for them quicker, but might fuck our aquifers, but they'd rather run it through our territory where it might ruin our water than across their land where if it broke, it might damage theirs. And we're like, yeah, sure.
But it's gotten to the point where it's being pushed so much that it's destroying our economy, pushing companies out. Oh, you're going to pollute too much CO2.
Yes, too much is the part. You can pollute some, that's expected, but you got to, keep it within due bounds.
And the company finally says, we'll just move it to China or India.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll solve it. Move it to China or India. If you want to pollute, that's the place to go. Wait, we're supposed to be concerned that we're losing the businesses that pollute too much. What about the ones that pollute just enough? Can we keep those?
And then they take all those jobs away. They destroy all those families. They destroy a local economy.
Yeah, they ruin a perfectly good cancer cluster.
And
and now how are the people downriver gonna get tumors? Huh? At the tumor store? What the fuck?
Talk about an animal in peril, the human being, but yet the environmentalists are okay with that company setting up a manufacturing or factory in another country and polluting there.
No, they're not. That's what the Paris Accord was about, you stupid fuck. What are you talking about?
Actually,
China and India are terrible about pollution.
They're terrible. They're terrible. But we should have those factories over here.
Right. And so do you care about the world, the globe, or don't you?
Yeah. Have we all taken Tim Pool crazy pills? Are we all bro Roganing right now? Are we all losing the ability to process words and images? Or is she arguing for the Paris Accord right now?
Thanks for checking out this
Oh my God.
segment from the Timcast.
Okay, don't think I didn't notice that you swapped out the samurai sword for a ninja sword, but you've tinted the image. Did you try to boost color in your face to make you look not so pale? And when you did that, look at the guitar neck. Look at the blade of that should be silver. But somewhere around up here, there's some targeted color. Something weird is happening. This business. Also, I'm not gonna, I think he's doing these kind of post video things to remind everybody to like and subscribe. The thing I forget to do that all these folks add to their videos, and I'm still not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'll tell you in person, but I'm not going to make one of those. Not anytime soon. You're watching HAL SPARKS Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your parts. That was fucking painful. I mean, it started out with just shit morals and ignorance and moved into some of the dumbest rando discussion I've ever seen on the internet. And again, reminder, 1.3 million subscribers. Oh, where's this? Oh, yeah. I found this before because I saw the title of the video. And I would like to end our Tim Pool adventure together by showing you Tim Pool's attitude about the perils of addiction. Social media is an addiction. It's a video game. Shares are points. How do you get the most points? Did you get the less RTs? Did you get less RTs this time? Well, now you feel bad. That's how they get you. It's an addiction. It's truly an addiction. People are addicted. Kicking a habit like that isn't easy, and people who are dealing with it, like Tim is, because he didn't get as many RTs as he was hoping. This is from May 11th, 2019. It's got 42 retweets. Been up for years. Got one quote tweet, 396 likes. He's still burning from this one. It's in a chain of him this screed from 2019. May 11th, 2019. Twitter is radicalizing people faster than the other network. Out of context clips, quotes, headlines result in rapid deployment of information fragments which mislead and radicalize. Venture capital provided a shield of credibility. It was mainstream, so it was okay. Twitter is terrible. Trump has been a godsend for these media companies. We have seen the executives quoted saying, let's get back to Trump. It's called the Trump bump. Get people mad, get paid. Why didn't he quote that in front of Carrie Lake? But how do you keep milking the same cow over and over? You need to radicalize. The content needs to avoid becoming stale. Is Trump a racist? Get you 1 million views. You can't write that the same story twice. Tomorrow you write Trump is racist. Then Trump is the most racist. Then Trump is like Hitler. Then Trump is like Hitler. Then Trump is worse than Hitler. Of course, that is oversimplifying things a bit. And I don't know. And I don't want to blah, 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 blah. Look at this shit. On and on. Wow. Now, we have a return. Let's see. Is this actually happening? Hold on one second.
About President.
Okay. 9%. Yeah, 9 Eastern. So that's at 6. Fuck. I tell you what, I'm going to save this Trump speech from tonight and do it later or tomorrow or something like that. Over the weekend, maybe. Or go after my kid goes to sleep tonight, because my girlfriend's working really late. So I got nowhere to be bed-wise. So yeah, I'll hold on to this nonsense right here from RSBN, which is happening. And they're in Anchorage, Alaska, and he's speaking in Vegas. I don't know what that's about. We had a where is this? Real quick, just to do a revisit. The hits just keep coming from our lovely friends at the Young Twerps. This is Joe Biden is a shameful excuse for a leader. Somebody had to say it besides Tim Pool and the entire right-wing media. It had to be somebody who will put a spin on it that the kids will like. Luckily, this is brutally short, I think, because it's a YouTube short. It's also on their TikTok, which, by the way, TikTok is malware, and anybody who tries to keep you or get you on TikTok means you ill, for the record. Okay, here we go. This is Joe Biden is a shameful excuse for a leader. Let's see it.
Any Democratic voter, look at this sad, pathetic excuse for a leader.
Fuck you. Wow. Oh, maybe she's talking about Cenk. Maybe, that's right.
And think, nailed it. Wakey, wakey, Democratic.
Wakey, wakey. This is trash judge.
Voters.
Wakey, wakey, Democratic voters. Yeah, don't vote this fall. If you give Biden You have to understand, Biden may have a hair's breadth voting majority using the vice president on certain bills in the Senate. And he may have lost seats in 2020 in the House and only have a 10-vote margin, Republican to Democrat, there. But if you go out and you give him 2 more senators and a bunch more Congress people, you know what he's going to do? He's going to end Social Security. He's going to take Ketanji Brown Jackson off the Supreme Court. He's going to get us back into Afghanistan. That's what will happen if you elect more Democrats.
All of the apologists for corporate Democrats who spend all their days on Twitter shaming anyone who dare question the leadership.
Oh, that's me. I'm not, by the way, just for the record, she knows I don't, this is hyperbole to kind of cover her ass, but she means me. She and Cenk had a little Twitter run-in with me a little while ago, and they were both flipping out about the same thing. This is a lot of this is their fault. And also, I'm not the only one, which is why they're freaking out so much about this, because neither one of them is capable of a genuine mea culpa. Neither one of them is either, I honestly don't think they give a shit. I mean, they make enough money being on the opposite side. It's better for them if the Trumpians are in charge. And whereas the Susan Sarandon types want the whole system to collapse because they think whatever will be built from the ashes will be some sort of beautiful phoenix of utopian, social programs and whatever. But a lot of people are just going to have to die first. We just got to clear the decks. There's got to be kind of a purge. And if you're alive right now and reliant on certain things and they collapse, it's just, you got to take one for the team. That's the Susan Sarandon crowd. These guys just know that they make more money if Democrats can't do anything. So the goal is, it's like point shaving, that big point shaving scandal where they're like, you have to lose by just a couple of points, but you got to get us close enough, and then you got to intentionally throw the game. It's much closer to that business model.
Of these pathetic people in the Democratic Party.
I feel seen.
Wakey.
Why are you quoting A Clockwork Orange if you are even aware that you are? By the way, I'm totally grabbing this soundbite later and using it as my alarm clock because nothing would get me out of bed faster.
A lifetime judgeship. It's a federal.
Oh, she's talking about, okay. She's talking about the Kentucky judge, which if you get this Eastern Kentucky judge in this one area, McConnell won't stand in the way of all the rest of them. Also, there is no judge in that area that will be the way we want. So it's a dead issue. It's Eastern Kentucky, for fuck's sake. This is like a West Virginia thing times 10. But McConnell is apparently, this is the idea of the deal. This is from a while ago. So again, mostly a rumor story, but whatever. We'll see if the actual person goes through. But the important thing is, it's like one asshole for 50 other judges. By the way, let's see. Biden judges confirmations. Let me see where the biggest, let's see. Hold on. I want to get one that shows you the numbers. There's a confirmation listing. No, that's the wrong one. Give me a second. I'm sorry you have to look at that, but we'll fix it. There you go. Wait 1 second. Maybe later. While some major pieces of President Biden's legislative agenda remain stalled, he has enjoyed more success than recent predecessors in winning Senate confirmation of judicial nominees. In a statement Wednesday, Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer noted last week that his chamber confirmed the 66th of Biden's judicial nominees to a lifetime appointment on the bench. This is older, too. This is from June 3rd. Part of Schumer's boast was rooted in the diversity of the judicial nominees the Biden White House has chosen, and Senate Democrats have confirmed. The Senate Majority Leader's statement that 75% of the judges confirmed since last year are women. Nearly two-thirds are people of color. Biden, more so than any modern president, has also prioritized nominations for public defenders and civil rights attorneys. The other part has to do with speed. No president of either party has seen this many judicial confirmations at this point in his term since JFK. In fact, across the judiciary, district courts, circuit courts, and the Supreme Court, the Senate now has confirmed 66 of Biden's nominees. At the same point in Donald Trump's term, it was 39. In Barack Obama's first term, it was 26. As we've discussed on several occasions, Republicans in the Trump era prioritized judicial nominees above almost every other consideration. The campaign was as relentless as it was effective. The former president managed to appoint about 230 judges to federal courts. That's not as many as his recent two-term predecessors, but it was strikingly tall for a failed one-term president who never won the popular vote. With this in mind, Biden White House has emphasized judicial nominees to a degree without modern precedent. Let's jump this. White House takes bold steps to fill judicial vacancies. Just 10 days. This is April 29th. 2021. Just 10 days after Joe Biden's inauguration, NBC News reported that the new White House team and Senate Democrats were embarking on a mission to shape the courts after Republicans overhauled them in the last 4 years. The importance of the task is hard to overstate. As we've discussed, Republicans in the Trump era prioritized judicial nominees above almost every other consideration. The campaign was relentless, 230 judges, right. The White House's task of turning the tide is well underway. NBC News reported overnight on Biden's latest picks for the federal bench, which further reflect the president's intention to pick jurists who are both qualified and diverse. This is the part that she hates the most. The nominees include David Estudillo, now presiding judge of Grant County Superior Court in Ephrata, Washington, for the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington. Biden's other two picks are Tana Lynn, also for the U.S. District Court of the Western District of Washington. Christine O'Hearn for the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey. Lynn, who would be the first Asian American judge for that district. As White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain has explained, modern presidents have generally made it such an effort to put forward nominees for the federal bench this early in their terms. At the 100-day mark, for example, Bush and Clinton hadn't nominated anyone. Donald Trump, meanwhile, sent 2 judicial nominees in his first 100 days, while Barack Obama, they were tight back then. That was a nickname, Barack Obama. As of this morning, Biden's 100th day in office, the current president has sent 14 judicial nominees to the Senate for consideration, which appears to be a record by a wide margin. Biden has stacked the courts full of diverse diverse judges who were largely public defenders. And to continue that tide, to make sure they get the number they need, especially, by the way, because one of the reasons they thought they might have to make a deal with Mitch McConnell about these things to continue getting judges through is because if the Republicans take the Senate this fall, as this asshole would like to have happen, that's where they would stop this process and limit that number. And so letting them have this one and signing them onto that deal and getting these things through, because even if they have a majority, it won't be gigantic. They know this, and they've got to move stuff around. So they're going to play a little bit nice just with these things. It won't be a huge thing because they'll think these are minor compared to a SCOTUS, for example, which will be a tooth and nail fight if we have to get somebody through. And again, she doesn't give a fuck. But that's the deal. One Eastern Kentucky judgeship that McConnell gets to pick, and we get the rest. Fuck off. Of course you do that. If you're going to, the option is them batting down or continuing to bat down 35% of the people that are coming through.
Federal judge. It's a federal judgeship.
In Eastern Kentucky.
Which is why the president appoints the individual and the Senate confirms the individual.
Right. And you have to be able to confirm them. And if they put a hold on 40 fucking judges to get this one dickhead in an area where he will do little or no damage if we continue a trajectory of actual progress, which of course, again, she doesn't give a shit about, that's your option. You either get that guy in or you guarantee anonymous holds on everybody else. I mean, this is just dumb. I mean, that's not fair. It's not just dumb. It's also mean. There's a cruelty to it. It's kind of gross, but it's primarily dumb.
I don't know if you guys know this, might sound a little crazy.
Yes, so far, yes.
Democrats are in charge in the federal government.
No, they're not. We have a hair's breadth in the Senate. We run the presidency because the guy you hate the most won the most votes ever. And we have fewer Democrats in the Congress than we had last time. We lost some during the biggest push of social justice issues in our nation's history. That cost us seats in areas where that doesn't auto fly, where it isn't an AOC district. That cost us seats nationwide. And it may very well this year, but only because they're telling everybody to stay home.
Trump in
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Why are we doing
Why?
favors for Turtle Man Mitch McConnell?
Because he can put a hold, one person, any member of the Republican caucus can put a hold on those judges going through. And if the minority leader doesn't agree to override that, either within his caucus before it happens or with extra votes, or cut people loose to join an override of that to shepherd these things through and fill these seats, then they all die. They all die. All these diverse judges, all these women, all these people of color, all these public defenders that are trying to get on the judiciary, they all go away. That's why. And again,
How can
anybody, and by the way, these are the same assholes who think that Biden should be more like Lyndon Johnson and twist some arms. Well, I got news for you. Some of that arm twisting was shoulder massaging at the same time of people that these folks, and myself included, would consider fairly ugly as human beings to get that shit through. Deals with terrible people, because without those deals, everything would have frozen. But again, these guys are all about giving up any win simply so that you can say you fought purely, which they aren't at all anyways. Like, this is just gross. Fucking hell. And is this going to be the story like post-primary because a bunch of their people lost? Is this because Nina Turner lost? And so fuck them? And so the other qualified black woman who's a Democrat who could win this race, fuck her. She doesn't deserve to win. She should lose just to remind people that we are not to be fucked with. I mean, this is very similar to Trump's kingmaker bullshit that he's been doing. This is just revenge, like petty, low-res revenge. Because if you actually believed any of the things that Nina Turner campaigned on, or fucking that AOC talks about, or that Bernie talked about, if you believe in any of those things, and you go, can we get one step closer to those things? That you would do that. Especially when it's a choice between one step closer, and I would argue 5 or 10 steps closer, versus 20 steps back off a fucking cliff. Good Lord, this is gross. Is it? And by the way, I limit my intake of this crowd over time. I used to be a watcher back in the day, and then it just got gross, and I just can't do it anymore. So I get these little, because I look through some of the clips, like when we're doing some clips on here, I look at to see if sometimes they contextually say something before or right after, just so that I can fill in the blanks if they mention something in as an example, so I can so that I'm not talking out of school. But increasingly, this is what it's all about. This is about just fucking the Democratic vote in the fall. That's all that matters to these guys. That's all. And under the cover of the illusion of progressivism, the illusion of actually being angry at the other side, because you can just, Cenk will be in charge of the bluster of, we hate these people. These are people that they want guns, but don't, they want to stop a woman from having a right to, like this kind of like cartoonish fake version of liberal or progressive outrage. But what the answer always seems to be is, yeah, but you can't vote for Democrats. Because what the fuck will that do? Which, again, I mean, it just sounds like it sounds like a trap. It sounds like that's the purpose. I don't know how you do that every day without just getting a lump of coal in your stomach. Well, that's the thing, Greg Emmett. He goes, TYT is spot on in the issues, but very wrong on the methods. But that might very well be the thing. That's what a honey trap is. That's what that's how you lure someone. The direct right attack, the right-wing attack, is to directly attack people for what they are and who they are and what they're, what they believe. The indirect attack, which is often more effective, especially if your goal is to keep people from voting, is, hey, I'm on your side. I want these things too. But that's not the answer. Those people aren't going to do anything, and they're not going to listen to you until you stop showing up to support them. That's actually more effective long-term at fucking the vote, especially with the youth vote, which is, traditionally very hard to get. That most people, the vast majority of people, age out of this shit. And if they maintain their values, they'll know better. But by that time, they've gone through maybe 3 election cycles that they either have pissed away their vote on a protest vote because they're angry at the system, or they didn't vote at all because they felt disenfranchised and they were bullshitted by, by these assholes. Thank you, Kathy, so much for the super chat. And thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. Patreon.com/HalSparks. You could super chat, all that kind of stuff. And when you do, it's a beautiful thing. And of course, Venmo and that kind of things. And I'm not going to pretend to write a book and pre-sell it for 3 fucking years. And I mean, all right, we covered that. Ugh. Anyway, so in general, TYT is hot garbage, and the only function of TYT, the only purpose for its existence, is to diminish Democratic voting. It serves no other purpose. No matter what is said, no matter what the illusion of values that they present, the entire goal is to undermine the Democratic voting base. They are never, ever going to convert a red voter to being more like a purple independent or bring a purple independent over the Democratic side. Never gonna fucking happen, not ever. There is not a single thing that they're doing that will, that anybody that would find their way to that shit would eventually get to. The entire purpose, the whole function of TYT is to stop young Democrats from voting or making their vote count. Josh, hey, Hal, I can't go into it now, but I just want to let you know that I love you and Johnny Million have helped me through some dark times in my life. Thank you for helping me without even... Oh, Josh, thanks so much, man. Again, we're here for the optimistic stoicism. That's what the purpose is. If you can help, you help in any way. One step forward is always worth it. And saying they should have run a marathon, shoulda, woulda, coulda, they moved forward when we could have moved backwards, and we can move backwards so fucking easily. It doesn't take much. It took 1 Trump presidency and 3 judges he threw up there, and they're talking about goodbye same-sex marriage, goodbye contraception, goodbye a woman's right to choose. I mean, that's going to have to be legislated now, and they know it. They also know we don't have enough votes to codify it. We don't. If everybody shows up, and Kamala Harris could vote on this as a reconciliation thing, still can't pass it. And if you carve out the filibuster for policies, then forevermore it is carved out for policies. And since we've got TYT and their ilk trying to lower Democratic turnout every fucking time, what faith does any Democrat serving in office, or any Democratic voter for that matter, have that we won't lose the Senate in 1 cycle, and then gone is the filibuster for policy issues, and the stampede of right-wing lunacy begins? TYT is, yes, TYT is not helping. TYT is beyond not helping. They are servicing the Republican voter base. It's garbage. It's shameful. It's grotesque. And yeah, I'm vote shaming people if they pissed away their vote in 2016 because of sour grapes over Bernie or Jill Stein or Hillary Clinton's voice or her emails. Because they made a childish, reactive decision over something that was incredibly serious. They shrugged it off, and the cost was immeasurable. Are we going to fix it? Fuck yeah, we're going to fix it. Democrats, in large part, are getting over and past this horse shit. Being talked out of their vote. Especially when, by the way, the disenfranchisement of black voters and minority voters all over this country is happening. You tell me I'm going to just talk about white privilege, that you're going to not use your vote to vote for the party that's actually trying to fix it in face of a party that's actually trying to strip those rights? And you're like, I don't know, is there really a difference? Grotesque. No, 1,000 times no. And there's nothing wrong with regret or shame if it informs your behavior going forward. You guys are awesome. I have so much. Can I just show you one thing before I go? Can I? Because I know it's like this is. We kind of have to. It's not long, I don't think. It's only a few minutes, so it won't eat too much into the other time. And I got to go make dinner for the family, but I love you guys. And I feel like we need a palate cleanser after that shit. Man. All right. Here we go. This one's... ladies and gentlemen, I give you Frank Clips. Frank's speech is, of course, not to be confused with fwank.com, FWANQ.com. That's my, that'll send you right to the Twitch page where you can subscribe using Amazon Prime, and it doesn't cost you a dime. You're welcome. However, Frank's speech is the free speech social media network that was supposed to rival Facebook and Twitter that Mike Pillow put forward. And by the way, can I just say... thanks again to Josh and Beatnik. Thank you so much. Anna and Emma, the unfairly smeared Tulsi and her campaign. Unfairly smeared Tulsi and her campaign. That's fascinating because she goes right back on there in some ways to, I mean, she hands out, she's on Jimmy Dore's show. I mean, this is like the little tribal camp shit that happens with them. Thank you, Carrie. And thank you guys for the super chats today. I greatly appreciate it. They are much needed and much appreciated. This is... Journalists that still say they see no evidence of election fraud are choosing not to look. It isn't that we've been unconvincing over here at Frank's speech. It's not that we've been talking right out of our ass this entire time. It's that they just won't look in the right places. Well, bend over, Mike. We're here with the speculum. Let's see what they have to say. I'm curious about what we're missing. There still has been he's announced this fucking, I guess, middle of next month. He's going to do another kind of super symposium-y, one big show BS. And oh God, I'm committing to doing it before you right now. I will do the whole thing. We will go through the whole thing. But just prepare yourself that I am going to be a dancing monkey during that whole fucking thing, trying to keep it interesting, because it'll be the same retreaded bullshit and the same raggedy performance that he's given before. I don't have my hopes up. There's no way he gets assaulted with a tangerine this time just to keep it spicy. All right, here we go. This is short, but this is the journalists just refuse to look.
That was validated.
Hold on. Back up.
This stuff that we got today that was validated.
2024.
I've been waiting a long time to get this certain piece validated.
Yeah.
And you guys,
it's so valid. It's so fucking valid now, bro. It's so valid. This is the most valid thing you've ever seen. We validated it's so valid.
Literally, I believe, bring it to how about those $1.3 billion lawsuits? Well, I believe we're going to be able to just take that and go, now what do you have to say?
Oh, look out. He's here. Oh, yeah? En garde et touché. Schling, cling, dodge, parry, thwip. The Dominion, your goose is rightly cooked. This is gonna happen. You got nothing. Watch. Here you go. Would you like a wafer thin mint? Musical indulgence, thank you. Towards the TYT palate cleansing session. Thank you. Yes, this is for cleanup. Bless you. In your honor, here it is.
So much speculation.
Oh, get the fuck. Why does the button on this thing? Hold on. I'm gonna pull this down out here, and then the Trump live thing keeps kicking live, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to close all this, and I'll go get that back later so that maybe the button properly triggers this.
You know,
yeah, Brandon had the same reaction we all did. It's hilarious.
can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yes, neither can we. We've been waiting. Boy, have we been waiting. Long time.
You know, I've been vindicated, and anyone else that knows, everyone knows there was election crime. Even every single journalist watching, right?
Yeah, he's been vindicated, guys. I mean, he's got a split screen with this dude reading his stock portfolio because of the money that, I swear to God, I wish we could move in on his glasses. Also, he looks like, I don't know why I need to do this, but, see if they get this. Images. Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm getting these kind of vibes. If you ever watched Flash, he'll save every one of us. Flash, right? Right here. Anybody else? Okay, not just me. All right, here we go. So, this guy, in probably all of the Trump coup world, Josh, thank you. Did Mike go to the Cenk Uygur School of Pre-Orders? Yes, he did. Oh, God. I think it's the other way around, Josh. I think actually that, like, Mike Pillow's been watching, like, saw the Cenk, like, book video and went, wait a minute. So you can just push off. See, I was using the Trump system, which is always promised something 2 weeks away, and people kept calling bullshit, and it was a pain in the ass. You're telling me I can just put this off till 2023, and then by then everybody who's bought a copy, I can just go, oh, sorry, and it's like a loan that I got, and I don't have to pay back, or I just hope they forget about it. If enough time has passed. So, but anyways, this dude, Brandon House, whatever, has convinced this dude to just funnel money up his ass for a year and a half. Because all this shit was built so, and Lindell TV is run on this like a Brandon House production, all that shit. Hold on one second. They have it listed in the on the other page, but it's one of those things like at the end of the thing. Maybe it's down way at the bottom. Nah, I moved it. It has this thing about Frank. Maybe it's in here now. But the whole idea is that this dude owns all of it. When it's all said and done, when somebody yesterday's show cracked me up. Love you, Hal. Here's some money for coming justice. Oh, that coming justice, and you'll like it. Oh man, justice is coming. All right. So wait. So let's get to this. So he's oh shit. So at some point, if he decides to pull the ripcord and go, fuck this, I'm out, I'm not going to go down as the Dominion dude. All I was the producer. I never said Dominion. He was saying that shit. I was on the network, but I wasn't doing this. And they go after the network. All of his shit, he's keeping everything in the divorce, including all the footage, anything behind the scenes. And if somebody finally does like a Mike Pillow is a lunatic Netflix Tiger King series about this shit, they're going to have to come to him for footage.
Now, they all know there was election crime.
Yeah, election crime. By the way, I don't want to. I gotta watch out because I don't want to get a violation of TOS. But for the record,
What?
let's be abundantly clear that there was election crime. Most of it involved Donald Trump buying votes and hiring people to stuff ballots in places where he thought they wouldn't be found out.
What?
A lot of them just took the money and fucked off, so they never actually did the ballot stuff. But a few hundred of them there, here and there. And when they go and look, they would always find fake Trump votes or more likely Biden votes that were thrown out.
What?
Yeah, it's true. And so I just, for the record, when he says that there were, election crime, that's fact. Okay.
They I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, that's all right. Good. You know who you should talk to? Tim Pool.
I guess a lot of them are gonna go, Mike. Will you say that I didn't really write those terrible things that you were a conspiracy theorist? Yeah, sure. I will.
Yeah. What does he think he's gonna do? Forgive you like some kind of Christian or something? I mean, what? That's something that Christians do. Forgive you? Are you? No. No. Judge not say no. I judge me. I'll judge you. Yeah. You judge me, you won't get judged again.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, you bet. Screw that Jesus stuff. Daddy's pissed.
So
why is he laughing? Oh, because he's not a Christian either. Okay. Yes. Yep. Ever since I've spent millions, been downhill for Mike ever since. Well, that's the thing. Jesus. He's just like.
You know what's funny, Brad?
Yes, he does. The checks you send him, he laughs till he cries.
Is one of the pieces from the Mesa County that Alan Duke had.
Yes, a piece of Duke, I think they call it.
That just got that now. What he had in his possession. We're gonna when we get this now. What we just got.
Yeah, what he has that he had. That if he has that again and we get it, we'll have it, and then then we're had.
Today we're gonna show it to y'all and tell you what it means.
Oh dear God! If they start to pan down, everybody dive for the floor.
And all Alan Duke, it'll be a double shame on you. Shame. We could call the shirt "Shame on You, Alan Duke" too.
Yeah, that'll be a big seller. Do it as a pillowcase. Then you can do a kind of 2-for-1.
I mean, it's just what he had. You guys got to realize he's the Facebook fact checker for Facebook and Twitter, where he covers our stuff up. Everybody's up all last year. Shame on you, Alan.
Oh, Alan Duke, you bastard.
Duke, and then I give him the
Thank
evidence, and instead of coming out and saying, "Whoa, Mike was right,"
they go, "Whoa, this is horseshit. Are you a fucking lunatic?" Same thing.
Yeah, here it is, America. And he tells me I think he said he's a patriot or a veteran or.
That's hilarious. That's a patriot. Patriot. Don't you know you can't be a patriot unless you try to overthrow the government and use a flag background? I mean, it's an easy 2-step recipe, but come on.
And he said he's a Christian. I go.
Yeah, I'll tell you what a Christian is. An unforgiving. All right.
You know what, Alan? What does that have to do with what you're doing right now, being a traitor to our country?
Well, that's where he's trying to make the point that he doesn't believe he is. He thinks you're a deluded fuck. He's giving you the benefit of the doubt of not being a traitor. He just thinks you're an asshole. And so as a patriot and a Christian, he's like, well, it's America. Freedom to be an asshole or we wouldn't have Florida. And
even if you are those things that, which I don't believe anybody, especially that got the evidence and sits there and doesn't say anything.
Well, that's not fair. It's not that he didn't say anything. He actually said he doesn't believe what he's seen, what you're showing him is valid. It's idiocy. Nobody who's seen it does, except people on your payroll and other lunatics selling or buying the same shit. Yeah.
All these people out there, all you people out there.
You what now? Who people?
Watching, like you journalists.
You journalists. Yes, all the journalists. Put down your pens right now. Step back from your little old clackety-clack typewriters. Ding. Step back away from your desk and listen up, journalists.
You know,
who are watching Frank clips.
No. You know why I think they choose not to do it? Some of these journalists, brand that choose.
Satan. Satan the devil. Satan. Crack and Satan. More crack than Satan.
Not to look at it here on Frank's speech and to look at.
Well, it might be production value and boredom. And also your vaguely Hitlerian, America First 1930s Nazi sympathizer style that you have, which is really off-putting. I'm just saying. And also the fact that you have a cross on your thing and you wear one all the time, and you just joked about how you'll never forgive someone, even if they apologize and say it's, they have a come to Jesus moment. You're like, fuck you, heaven's closed, clank.
Look at the evidence. Go right down the thing there and click on bombshell proof.
All right, we're going to click on it. Bombshell proof. All right.
I think, you know why they choose not to look?
Because they've looked at all the other ones and they know it's the same shit and it's annoying?
Because then they can still lie and say, there's
That's what it is. Plausible deniability for Satan.
no evidence. I haven't seen any evidence. And here's a good example, everybody.
Okay, good example. Finally, we're getting to one of those. This is, by the way, can we go back to Tim Pool? There seems to be deeper thinking going on over there. I'm kidding.
The United States government, what's it called, Brandon? CISA?
CISA, the Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency.
You guys, I had a terrible journalist yesterday from NBC.
Terrible. Journalist from NBC. Terrible person. Satan.
Interview me, and she said, well, what do you have to say about CISA? They said that the machines are all vulnerable, but they couldn't find any evidence that the election could be overturned. That the election was.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like you've been talking about this for a year and a half. It's easy to lose your train of thought, and especially it's difficult to explain something that has been your entire life for almost 2 years.
Stolen. And I said to her, you got to look for the evidence. Well, you got to go out there and see the evidence. They didn't click on Frank's speech, did they, Brandon?
No, that's what it is. They didn't do it. I did. I would like to say for the record, and I'm waiting with bated breath for the next, deep evidence or absolute poop they're putting out. I'm excited about it. I'll be there. I've done all of it. I've gone through every single one of them. I will absolutely go to Frank's speech right after this video is done and click on bombshell proof. And on behalf of those people, I would like to say for the record to Mike Pillow and this grifting fuck who's living like a tick on his ass, and anybody who's been buying this garbage for a long time, that having watched all of it, including all 3 days of his Cyberama, it's not just that he doesn't have evidence. It's that he fabricates concepts around evidence he has that does not pretend to any of the charges he's actually making. Most of it directly contradicts what he's saying. The rest is just garbled bullshit. It's just like the same recycled lie in a different package all the time.
Oh, they
And
did
go
not.
down and look at it.
Yeah, look at it. Again.
What CISA did is their statement was, in fact, could be, in a court of law, they could be true, because you know what they did? They took the report of the Dominion thing from Haldeman. They took that report that said these machines are vulnerable. They all have vulnerabilities. But they looked in there and they said, well, we don't see anything where the election was flipped in this report. That's all they did.
No, that's not all they did. There were a myriad of recounts. There was canvassing. They looked at all these areas, and in none of those areas, including the highly Republican areas, in the places where they were like, these are a bunch of Chinese ballots printed with paper with bamboo shoots and panda jizz in it, and the ink were shuffled in here and counted 10 times to prove that they were, to raise the number of votes even in red states so they could, and Trump really won Arizona, all that shit. And then they go back through and they count the votes for the actual voters who were actually in the state and the people who actually voted. And then in several cases, they did blind canvasses. They called people up. Do you mind telling us if you voted in the last election? Why, no, I don't. And you filled your ballot out on this date? Yes, I did. Okay, this is what our thing says we received it in. And did you get do you have the app that says it was run through? Yes, I did. And did you receive a notice? Did you respond? Yes, I did. Like, they did that with so many people that if there were tens of thousands, the volume that they're talking about, it literally one of these counties would have been so rife with ridiculous levels of it that everybody involved would be going, what the fuck? Every door I knock on is a fake ballot. And none of it was true. And in most of the cases, they found some Biden votes that were thrown out by the local Republican who was trying to help him along, help Trump over the line and still failed, or some Trump votes that were counted twice. Once on paper, or a bunch of them who voted fucking twice.
Bunch.
Thanks, DDO. And this is that the tail end of this shit? That's it? Wait, back up.
Well, they all have vulnerabilities. But they looked in there and they said, well, we don't see anything where the election was flipped in this report. That's all they did.
Okay, that's the end of the video. And no, it fucking well isn't. And this is, by the way, live.
I own my slippers for only 40.
Oh my God, what a surprise. Randomly, I mean, what are the odds that I go on Frank's speech and the first thing that comes up is a MyPillow ad? It's shocking. I mean, it's almost as if that it's a display of priorities. All right, where are we? Okay, wait, Dominion exposed. We've seen it. Okay. ESNS, this Mike's epic testimony before the Louisiana Senate Committee. Selection Committee terminate the machines petition. Dominion started free. We've seen it. Bombshell proof. Bombshell proof. Coming to your door. Oh, yeah. Load it up. It's bombshell proof. Is that a video? Nope, it's just a picture. Okay. Bombshell proof. Mesa County Voting Systems, report number 3, election database and data process analysis. Executive summary, number 3. This report documents the findings of examination tabulated vote drums. Okay, the analysis was performed by the forensic image of the EMS server, which was backed up before Colorado Secretary of State overrode the hard drive on D Suite 1513. Okay, we've been through this shit before. This is the same stuff from the Colorado thing. Yeah, this is the Tina Peters stuff. Let's see, findings. There was an unauthorized creation of new election database during early voting in the 2020 general election in October 2020, followed by the digital, because they changed somebody that was in the running because legally it was still in the window and it didn't change anything in material voting past that point. This is so stupid. Really, followed by the digital reloading of 20,346 ballot records into the new election databases, making the original voter intent recorded with the ballots unknown. In addition, garbage. Addition 5,550 batches did not have their digital records copied to the new database, although the votes, this is from primaries, you dumb fuck. It's before the election. March 30th, 2020. Same authorized creation of new data. And then they were going to do they had another election. So they waited the amount of time you're supposed to, and then they blanked shit. And they stored it on hard drives. Yeah, this is the Tina Peters shit. I was hoping it was going to be Arizona. Didn't he say Arizona in the video? Or maybe do they overlap and just put them together? All right, I'll go through this one on my own. But I will access and download the supporting information. Dominion exposed. Get a data sample content. Supporting documents. List of tables within the Dominion database. And the list. Yeah, this is supposed to be like, look at all this like computer stuff, bro. Look, it's all like there was stuff, and then after this, the stuff is different from the other stuff. And then after the fucking election, they waited the legal amount of time, and then they saved all of it to a hard drive, and then they blanked the machines because they needed the machines for other shit. All right, I'm going to download that other stuff. And Why am I? Hold on. Oh, there it is. It's downloading. It's 750 megs. I've got my evening cut out for me, kids. Shit. Now, and you know I'm going to actually go through this stuff with a highlighter between now and that August bullshit that he does. You know that, right? I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do the show and get all like wound up because of fucking TYT and their like insane anarchist bullshit. Burn it all down. We know people will lose their health care and their Social Security, and the Republicans literally want to sunset Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, S-chip, welfare programs like to and fro. But you know what? People won't realize what they're missing until they really suffer. Remember that Republican that was like, it was Betsy DeVos, something about school lunches, one of those creeps, and she was like, hunger's a good motivator. Sometimes you should go hungry, right? Because it makes you pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And we were all like, that's fucking disgusting. And meanwhile, TYT and Jimmy Dore and Susan Sarandon and Russell are like, well, I mean, you can't make an omelet without breaking some kids, So, sorry. Some people have just got to lose everything. I'm not going to. I mean, God knows. TYT will soldier right through, because we'll have enough, of our angry regulars or another corporate donor dump a bunch of millions down. And we've got Google backing us up, paying us a bunch of money for our journalism course. We don't need day jobs. Meanwhile, everybody else, there's those people, they got to suffer, so that people understand suffering. I mean, she's got 3 jobs. That's uniquely American. That's what they're hoping for. That's what they're clamoring for. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, man, let me tell you something on a personal note before I let you guys go for the evening. I do my best to eat right, take a decent amount of, vitamin supplements and the like to keep myself healthy. Drink a decent amount of water, get enough sleep as best I can, especially when you got a kid. It can be tough. I work out 3 times a week. I spend, when I have to sing, as I become more of a singer, especially as we're doing, tougher songs in Nerd Halen, I literally have a vocal regimen I have to go through where with notes that I know I can't hit, but I've got a target date for when I need to hit them. And I just start moving towards that at all times. And some days everything's going great. And sometimes I'm sore from going to the gym, or my throat's sore from over singing, or I didn't get enough sleep the night before, or I'm dehydrated because of shit I was doing, and that's life. And you know what I do on the next day? I get up and try again. I don't go, fuck the gym, fuck vegetables, fuck working out and brushing my teeth, fuck mouthwash, fuck flossing. That shit doesn't work. I did it and it didn't work. I had a day where everything wasn't going my way, so all of this must be suspect. It's, the fact that you would attribute that to your political life is ridiculous. Is as ridiculous as attributing those kind of behaviors to your personal life. Get up, put one foot in front of the other, and treat the world as if it intends to spin on, and you, that unique human being that won't have the same solutions or ideas or smiles that are needed out in the world while you're at the grocery or while you see a problem, you will read it differently and you will come up with a different idea, and that is welcomed and necessary and always needs to be done. Life needs to be entered into with this optimistic, stoic mentality, not letting too much good and too much terrible overwhelm you so that it diminishes your function. And at the same time going, there can be a better day. So how do I get us there? And sometimes it might be a giant leap forward. It might genuinely be happening. You can feel it around you sometimes. Sometimes, like, or arguably with marriage equality, that was one of the things. You could feel a groundswell coming up. But even that is on shaky ground to some degree now because of the quickness of how it happened. But the incremental steps, the things that happened year after year where people soldiered on and on to get them done, those are the things that stick. Those are the things you can cling to. Those are the support rocks when you're climbing. And I truly believe that. I'm not selling you a different version of reality that I think is profitable. As a matter of fact, we've seen several times over the last couple of weeks that the people making the big money doing this in this genre of especially liberal and progressive talk are not doing this at all. The fear farmers and the chaos entrepreneurs are making money hand over fist. And I'm a great actor. I really am. If you don't believe me, go watch Lab Rats or Queer as Folk or Lightning Bug or even Spider-Man 2. That's not who I really am in life. And which is going to be on Netflix, I think, next month. Thank you, Eugene. Thank you so much. I'm a good actor. But this ain't that. This is not the place for acting or selling a POV. This is who I am. This is what I really believe. And I promise you that that is always what I will tell you. So you guys are awesome. I will see you on the radio tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time, HAL Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide. And now I'm going to obviously wait till Trump finishes his speech, download it onto my desktop, and oh God. And then we'll probably do that and late in the evening if my kid crashes early, something like that, and over the weekend. But either way, take care of yourself and take care of somebody else, and I will see you guys in the morning. Philip Bittner will be our guest tomorrow. He's still in Kiev right now. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Okay, bye.